right before you even start. But I'm telling you, once you get past those elite teams, you're going to have trouble getting the Mets lineup out of the top 10.
The question.
We're live, by the way.
I will agree with you really quickly. If Beatty takes the next step and you get Beatty and Harrison Bader at the bottom of that lineup doing work, absolutely, it could be an absolute roller coaster for them. It'd be awesome.
Well, the point is, what we're talking about, by the way, and this is an argument that stems back from last night. People were talking shit about the Mets, and I'm a Mets fan, and I understand things aren't looking great for us this year, but the question is, do the Mets have a top 10 lineup? And the answer is yes. Not a top 10 pitching rotation, but just strictly lineup speaking, the Mets have a top 10 lineup. And that has not been disputed yet. So anyway, we ran a poll before the show. Is Toast going to apologize to UConn fans? 69% of you said no.
You win a prize, because I will not be saying shit to UConn.
Did you see the final score of the game?
I did.
Marquette got rocked.
What an awesome win. Tell me, what's UConn's best road win?
Yo, what? Bro, Marquette got killed.
Do they play at home in March?
It might be their best road win might be tonight.
Tonight will be their best road win.
Oh, is that spoilers? You're taking Creighton?
Did you think I wasn't going to take Connecticut after what I said the other day?
Oh, no. So anyway, let's get it started. We got Butler on the road with Villanova. We're starting in the Big East. All right. So you guys saw last night, put the video up. I am on. Oh, let me get the my graphic ready here. I'm on Butler in this one. And it sucks because I think the numbers, and I'm not going to repeat everything I said in the video so people don't have to hear it twice. But real quick, I think the numbers point to a Villanova bet here. I think they have the mismatch. Just spot-wise, it looks like a really nice spot for Butler. You have Villanova coming off 2 cruise control wins. Butler coming off 2 tough losses to 2 good teams. I just think it's a little bit of a buy low, sell high spot here. Sell high on Villanova, buy low on Butler. If Villanova's outside shots are falling, yeah, maybe they win this game by margin. But I feel comfortable on Butler here at plus 6.5. I think they'll be able to keep it close. So I'm on Butler. It seems like Toast shaking his head is on Villanova, though.
Yeah, I'm on Nova. I agree with you as far as the spot-wise. I get that. Even if you go back like 4 or 5 games and the teams that Butler have played, Creighton, Connecticut, Providence, Marquette, Creighton. I mean, that is like the who's who
gauntlet.
of the conference. Yeah, that's an absolute gauntlet. I do worry that, 3 of those games were at home. The road wins against Creighton, that's a solid road win. It was by 1. I just like how Villanova's playing basketball right now. I think that I understand that they've only won 3 of their last 4, and they had a long losing streak, but they continue to play well. I also don't like the fact that Villanova has UConn on deck as well. But I just don't think that this Butler team has it on the road, and I think Villanova being able to not turn the Villanova's not going to turn the basketball over. Butler doesn't force turnovers. Butler also has an issue. They're kind of handsy. They foul a lot. And we all know Villanova's the best free throw shooting team in the country. So, I took Villanova -6 myself.
Toast has a hard-on for free throws.
In college basketball, yes. Absolutely.
You brought up Butler on the road. In their last road game, on the road in Storrs, Connecticut, they were down 5 to UConn with 2 minutes to go. That's the best team ever. That's the best team ever.
These teams also played each other earlier in the year, and Villanova kicked their ass in the first half, and they let this game go in the second half. Ended up losing in double OT. I just think they get right here.
There definitely is a revenge angle for Nova without a doubt. Scoop.
Yeah, I like Butler here. I'm not going to pretend Nova's like world beaters by any means. Nova beat Seton Hall like they always do, then followed up with a Georgetown win. Great. I know they won 3 of their last 4, but they still lost 6 of their last 10. I don't think Nova's good enough to be laying 6.5 here. Plus that Creighton loss was, the Creighton loss was pretty gross. I know that, but Pierre Brooks, I think, has a bounce back game here. DJ Davis and him should get enough looks. Butler beat Nova by 7 last month. They're just way better offensively than Nova. I know, Butler's 3 losses recently were all by ranked teams, and they struggled, but the home court of Nova doesn't scare me. They're 3-3 the past 6 at home. Plus, Eric Dixon's, I don't think it's going to keep this up offensively. I don't see them continuing the offense here. So, yeah, give me Butler on the road.
Andy?
Yeah, I truly think this game's a toss-up, which is why I thought the number was too high. So I go with Butler. I think a few things works in their favor. I think Villanova's coming off the Seton Hall game. I'll give them, but it was a bad spot. It was Sunday afternoon, not a good spot to play a road game for Seton Hall, and then they followed it up with a game against Georgetown, who's probably the worst team in the conference. Oh, I guess DePaul is, but and then you had Villanova. You had Butler, just played a gauntlet schedule. This is kind of I guess a step down in class, although it is still Villanova. But I think the number's just too high. They're very equal teams. So yeah, I like Butler here.
Toast is on a Villanova island because even the community likes Butler.
Beautiful.
Our community, according to the viewers, 58% of you said you would take Butler. 33% said you would lay it with Nova. Next game. All right, next game up. We're over in the SEC, which means Andy's going to start us off. This is not a game we talked about last night. You probably left this one off because of the high point spread. Tennessee, obviously, well, actually, this is earlier in the year. But if you rewind about 2 weeks ago, we did a video on Tennessee, and their home away splits were not that they were ass on the road, but the defense had a big step down when you look at their road numbers. I don't know if that's still the case. That was like 2 weeks ago. Would you lay 12 points here with Tennessee?
I would, yes. Something Missouri has struggled to do is defend the three. Tennessee can hit the three. Like I think this is a complete mismatch. Missouri at this point thought they were going to be fighting for the top of the conference. Right now, haven't won an SEC game. I think all the momentum is in Tennessee's favor. Like you said, they can play on the road. They're not obviously as good. They don't blow teams out like they do at home. But I think just couple that with the fact they're facing an awful Missouri team, I think they blow them out here.
He thinks they blow them out. Toast, do you agree with that?
100%. This is a huge spot for Tennessee. Don't forget, last year Tennessee lost to this Mizzou team in the SEC championship in the tournament. So this is a nice little revenge spot for Tennessee as well. Tennessee's defense is dominant. I really just do not like what Missouri's doing. I mean, this is an all-time low for this program. Well, not all time, but it's pretty damn bad. They're like 2-14 ATS at home. I mean, until they do something at home to prove to me, I didn't bet Tennessee, but that's just how I leaned. I just didn't want to lay all the points, and I knew it was hella public, and there's better spots that I like, but there's no chance in hell I'd get to Mizzou here.
So Toast is leaning Tennessee. Scoop?
Yeah, give me Tennessee. The last time they played a shitty SEC school, Arkansas, Vanderbilt. By the way, which I was 8-0 last time I was on here. I said Tennessee was going to kill Arkansas, and they did. And, you know, they're killing the bottom of the barrels SEC teams, Vanderbilt, LSU. Obviously, that's what Missouri is. They're 0-12 in the SEC. I kind of think Missouri doesn't even want to be there anymore. Plus, they only covered one game in their last 6. I'm not taking the points. I think Tennessee's going to kill them. Their talent's just wildly different.
Yeah, I guess I would lean that way also. I'm not betting this, but this is a revenge spot for Tennessee, but not because of the SEC championship that Toast mentioned. Not because the SEC tournament. Brady Cook went off on these guys earlier in the fall. Joe Milton had a terrible game. The defense just didn't show up. So it's a revenge spot for Tennessee. Vols really want to put the exclamation point here. Like I said, I'm not betting this. This is a huge number with Tennessee. Like I was just saying, 2 weeks ago we did these numbers, and Tennessee at home had top 3 defense in the country. On the road, it was back in between 30 and 40. So, yeah, this is a pass for me. Let's see what the poll thinks. 63% says Tennessee. 19% says pass. Just 16% of you said that you would take Mizzou here. Next. NC State. We got Scoop starting us off on an ACC game. Usually I put Scoop in for the Big Ten games. I don't know why I put you first for this one. Did you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, I mean, I know both teams are wildly inconsistent, but I like NC State here. They're a really solid home team. They're 11-3 at home, coming off a big Clemson win. I mean, Syracuse had that solid North Carolina win and lost to Georgia Tech. I mean, it's funny that kind of North Carolina State lost 5 of their last 7 conference games before the Clemson game, and they're still 4th in the ACC, which is just how bad the conference has been. Syracuse is 2-6 on the road. 4 of them losses are by 20 or more points. I know Mintz and Starling have the ability to score, but other than them, they don't have much offense. Plus, if Burns and DR play like it did against Clemson, it should be a relatively easy win for State, I think. So, yeah, I like NC State here.
Yeah, I was leaning that way, and then the line movement kind of confirmed it. This was at 5.5, then 6, then 6.5. Now I'm seeing 7. So, no question the market's pushing this number up. This is another one where I'm probably not going to end up holding a ticket for this. Probably not going to bet it, but this is the only way I'd go. I feel like Syracuse had that North Carolina game circled. That was their that was the Syracuse Natty right there. That was their big game. Now going on the road against NC State. This is the only way I'd go here. Toast?
I was going to say it's also like polar opposite spots. In that North Carolina game that was their third straight road game. This is going to be their second straight road game in 3 days for Syracuse, that is. So, I agree, 100% agree with you. I think the number is too big to take now. I think NC State's a safe parlay piece if you want to take it. I lean NC State. I wouldn't take it at the bigger number that it is now, but I don't have any way to get to Syracuse myself.
So you would lean NC State. Got it. Okay. So it kind of seems like we're all saying lean NC State. Andy, do you have the stones to take Cuse?
No, I do think the numbers it's climbed a bit because when I think when I did the pick, it was 6.
It was 6 like an hour and a half ago. So this line's been on the move. I'm seeing 7s now.
I think I saw John Rothstein tweet that somebody on Syracuse isn't playing. I didn't confirm if they were even impactful. He has a way of tweeting useless players sometimes, but it seems well. Sometimes he'll post somebody and they have averaged a point a game
in 15 years.
Yeah, I think NC State's just a better team. They're way better at home. They were on the road last game, so I thought they were gonna get crushed by Clemson. They didn't. They're just a better team at home too, so I'll take them.
Now
I'll read John Rothstein's tweet.
Go ahead.
Peter Carey out tonight. Has not played since 2-7. Averages 0.8 points a game.
Exactly.
Now, if you want the spot to bet Clemson,
that's a point line movement right there.
If you want a spot to bet Clemson tomorrow night, I like the matchup for Clemson against Georgia Tech. They're laying a big number on the road. I just did that game. I'm doing a video and I just wrote it, Andy, so I got that one done for later. I like Clemson tomorrow night. Anyway, so our poll is leaning towards NC State. A lot of people picking pass. Let's move on to the next one. Boston College at Florida State. Another one that's not the most exciting game, but I thought, for ACC game here with a 3.5 point spread. Let's talk about it. See if any of the squad has an angle they like. Toast, did you take a look at this one?
Yeah, it's really – look, I really wanted to take Florida State here. I didn't end up getting it to it. I think it opened – what did it open at? I think it opened at 4. So it didn't move as much.
It was at 4.5 this morning at 6 a.m., 4.5.
Yeah, so it's gone down. Look, Boston College is a lot better than people think, but at the same time, Florida State has lost 5 of their last 6. Virginia Tech, Duke, Louisville, North Carolina. So it's just really hard to get behind a Florida State team like that. But Boston College really doesn't do much for me either, especially on the road. Their only road win, I think, this year in conference was Notre Dame. They might have beat somebody else. They might have beat Georgia Tech early or something, but they haven't been great on the road either. So I would lean the home team, but I don't really like laying points with Florida State. But I would lean Florida State.
I would actually lean the other way, Boston College, with the line movement. It seems like Florida State's going to be the heavy public side. That's the way I lean, but I don't have anything for this game.
Now that I see the pie charts, yeah, I guess that, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know enough about the teams to give you betting advice on the game. That's just the way I'd lean based on the line movement. Scoop?
Yeah, I don't have much with this game. I guess I lean Florida State, and that's because of their defense in terms of blocks and steals. The last game these two played, it was gross. It was a 63-62 game. Both shot under 30% from 3. Plus, Boston College doesn't have a great defense by any means. I think Watkins can do enough to win it for Florida State, but yeah, I don't really have much. I would lean under 2 on this one, if anything.
Seems like none of us really like this game. Andy?
No, you're right. I don't love the game, but I would side BC. I think I don't want to lay 3.5 points with a Florida State team who has pretty much hit rock bottom at this point. They're playing bad basketball. So.
See, guys, this is why you tune into the show. Did you hear that insight? 4 of us wanted to pass. We're split 2-2, and the poll split. So we gave you absolutely no information to help you bet.
This game.
So if you were on the fence on this game, trust me, you're still on the fence after watching this shit. Let's move on to the next game. This says Boston College. It's UCF. So it's UCF on the road to West Virginia. Andy, a bona fide UCF fan. He likes this team. Do you like them enough to lay 2.5 on the road?
Yeah, I do. I think in this spot they should be okay. West Virginia, as we've talked about many times, they are. I mean, they didn't expect to be this bad, but they are. I mean, they've been decent. They're not covering any numbers. I think UCF at home is much better than on the road, but I think they're good enough to get this one done. I don't really have a lot on it, but yeah, I think they're just a better team.
Yeah, Eddie likes this UCF team. He said that. I like this team. That was a couple weeks ago. All right, Scoop.
No, I don't want West Virginia. I know UCF's 1-6 on the road. I don't care. They're on a 3-game losing streak, but they had 3 close games. They only lost 7 on the road against Texas Tech, 2 on the road to BYU. They just lost 2 at home to Cincy, but Texas Tech and BYU are worlds better than West Virginia, and if they play like they did against those two, they're definitely gonna cover here. UCF's just a better team. Morgantown isn't a home court advantage anymore. They're 8-7 there. UCF's 16th in defensive efficiency, and they're going against a team who can't really score. They're 306 in points per game, 315th in field goal percentage. So, yeah, I like UCF on the road here. I know they're pretty shitty on the road, but I can't back West Virginia here. But I'll let Toast tell me why we should.
Is Toast on West Virginia?
No, I'm on the under. I'm on the under 146. So, there's no way in hell I would lay points with this UCF offense or team on the road. That's for sure. But if I can fade the West Virginia offense, which is 13th in the conference as far as adjusted efficiency, and then the UCF offense, which is 12th. I'll take that. The UCF defense has actually been pretty damn good, as Scoop alluded to. So I like under. I just can't bet this UCF team on the road. I understand that they've played close games. I understand that they've played well. But the fact of the matter is they have not got the job done as much on the road. I think the Texas win was kind of fluky, personally. So it is what it is. But, I like the under a lot more. I like under 146.
Damn it. I was hoping one of you guys went here. I wanted to get here, but I was only going to do it.
Too.
I was only going to do it if one of you guys agreed with me. This is the side I want to be on.
I was trying to get there. The pie charts, what I saw all day scared me. It was so popular. It just doesn't make any sense.
Nah, but the community's polling heavy towards UCF. This is the side I want to get to. But I mean, I
tried.
I'm not familiar enough with the programs to just. I needed a second opinion to confirm that before I placed this bet. I'll make a couple calls, see if I can find somebody to give me some affirmation.
Been playing good teams. I mean, they just played BYU, Texas, TCU, Baylor. I mean, it's not like they're playing shit teams. So,
yeah, maybe I'll get there. I'll let you know in the Discord if I end up placing this bet. But as of right now, I don't have anything on it. 60%, 23% in favor of UCF there. Next game, Iowa, Michigan State. I don't know if you watched the video I uploaded last night, but I said I was leaning towards Iowa. Nothing's changed for me there. That's the way I'd still lean. I haven't bet it yet, but I am probably going to because this is one of the better games. Iowa's offense, look, there's no question that you can find all kinds of angles for Michigan State's offense. They're going to score points without a doubt, but I think Iowa's offense is going to score points right back. I really wanted to get to the over. The problem is, because I just feel like there's going to be a lot of bucket. Like, I don't think there's going to be many stops on either side. Problem is, neither team runs a particularly fast pace. And slow-paced games is where the over goes to die. It doesn't even matter if both teams are shooting 55%. If they're not playing fast enough, the over's not going to hit. So the pace is what's keeping me off the over, even though I really want to get there. But I just think this number is too high. Iowa's been playing pretty well, especially on the offensive side. And I think a lot of these games, they're going to be going bucket for bucket, honestly. And also, this is a razor-thin angle. Take it with a grain of salt. But huge shot frequency numbers from the mid-range from Michigan State. They take a lot of mid-range shots. Iowa's defense sucks, but actually the one area that they do a decent job against is the mid-range shot. So not that Michigan State can't score points on Iowa. That's not what I'm saying. They're going to. But it's just a little – if you were looking for something, if you were in the middle looking for something to get you over to the Iowa edge, maybe that's what gets you there. But yeah, I'm on the Hawkeyes, and I will be betting this. I just haven't placed it yet. So I'll post it in the Discord after when I bet it. I will be on this.
Yeah, what you were saying, I was saying Iowa obviously has a dog shit defense. They're one of the worst in the game. And I actually have right here that they're great in the mid-range defense. I know Michigan State's rolling, but I think Iowa has enough to keep this close.
Scoop, good pick.
I'm not saying this is a letdown spot for Michigan State, but 9.5 is a lot of points for a solid offensive team like the Hawkeyes. I mean, I know defensively, Michigan State's solid, but I mean, Iowa protects the ball. They move the ball around well. State's coming off 3 straight wins, but I don't even really think they look great against Penn State and Michigan. Plus, Iowa's transition offense is probably the best in the game. Also, Michigan State hasn't beaten Iowa by double digits in 6 years. So, And plus, it's been 3 shows since I've trashed that loser Tom Izzo, so I'm gonna do that here. So fuck Tom Izzo.
Fade Izzo. Andy, are you on Iowa?
Yeah, I think they have the right
Yes.
spot. I think they have the right spot defensively, like you said. I was looking at that yesterday. Obviously, I think it'll be a 7-8 point win for Michigan State, maybe a little less. I still think Michigan State's going to win. I really like that team, especially late February is pretty much when they always turn it on anyway. I just think they're not going to win this game by that much. Like you said, Iowa's not getting crushed. Like when they lose, they're not getting crushed. They're just not a good defensive team. So they're late in games. They're probably not able to make stops when it's close. That's not a worry here. That's a 10-point game you're looking at here. So yeah, I think they'll do just enough.
Someone said Scoop and Tom Izzo scrapping. Toast, are we sweeping?
I'll take Tom Izzo.
Absolutely not.
Come
so
on,
I will be on
dude.
the over. No, fuck no, absolutely not. Let's just take a look at what Michigan State's been able to do against some Big Ten teams at home. Spartans beat Michigan twice by 10. They've beaten, Michigan by 10 and 19. They beat Penn State by 31, Rutgers by 18, Minnesota by 10. Also, this will be, for Michigan State, Iowa's defense will be the worst that they've faced since Stony Brook in December. So I think we see a lot of points. I'm on the over. I know that you might be a little bit concerned with Michigan State's pace, but Iowa runs the fastest pace in the conference. I think they're going to be shooting a lot. Mid-range or not, they're also the best free throw shooting team in the conference as well. I think Iowa can put up some points. I think Michigan State might blow them out, but yeah, I like the over either way.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, that's the side I want. That's the total I wanted to get to. So if I was betting the total, that's not the under, the over. So yeah, that's what I wanted to get to was the over. I think Iowa's going to score on Michigan State.
I'm usually the one on the island. It's Toast's show.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he's on the over, so he's not
That's
really
true.
on an island. Yeah,
Halfway there.
he didn't have the nuts to make a pick against the spread in this one. 50%, 35% in favor of the Hawkeyes. Next,
It would be Michigan State for me, no question.
all right. So we got we're back in the SEC, which means Andy's getting the start here. All right, Andy, is there any reason to put your money on the Hogs right now?
No, yeah, this is a great night for the SEC. 2 of their games and the worst 2 teams in the conference are playing. I think they're going to get crushed too. A&M, at this point, A&M is just cruising till they play quad 1 games where they'll probably lose. They obviously they had a terrible loss to Vanderbilt. I think that was a week ago now. I think they got over that. I think they'll crush here. Arkansas on the road this year is just in SEC play specifically is just it's a get right game for everybody. So I think they will get right pretty easily. Great guard play from A&M, which is something Arkansas is not really great at defending. So yeah, I'll take A&M.
I'm not disinterested and I personally just don't have time to look at it. It's not that like I hate the NHL or anything. Someone says Kyle seems disinterested in NHL. I personally don't have time to look at the numbers myself, so I have no opinion on it. I'm not the type of person that like talks about things I don't know about. So like when people are talking about hockey, I'm a listener, not a speaker. So yeah. Anyway, Scoop, would you agree Texas A&M?
Yeah, so automatically when I look at Arkansas, I already lean the other team. And when they're an away team, I massively lean the other team. So, I mean, I know A&M had that miserable loss to Vanderbilt, like Andy said, and then they got blown out by Bama. But this is the game they need to kind of get their NCAA tournament, hopes back on track. I know 10.5 is a big number, or I guess it's 11 now, right? Or 11.5. Jesus.
11.5. It keeps on climbing.
But I said the same thing when I was, when Tennessee played Arkansas. It's a big number unless you're Arkansas. I said last time Arkansas wants to push the tempo, but they won't push the tempo like Alabama does. They're a fast mess. Arkansas gets out-rebounded every time. They're going to get out-rebounded here again. Coming off a blowout and plus the revenge game, they lost to Arkansas where they gave up 40 free throw attempts, which is absurd. And they shot under 32%. I don't see that happening again at home. I like Texas A&M here.
Toast, same, agree.
Yeah, I played the first half -6 to get away from the big spread after it moved from after 10.5. But the only thing that I can add, copy and paste Scoop's last like 3 sentences on mine. I agree. I really like the revenge angle. And then not to mention Texas A&M at home. Let's just not forget that they just beat Tennessee by 16 at home. So both those two games that those guys alluded to with Alabama and Vanderbilt, both on the road, I think they smoked this Arkansas team at home.
Yeah, I'll put it up for me too. That's the only way I'd go here is Texas A&M. Arkansas, with all the shit they went through this year, it's just you got to think that program's already looking at like this season might be a wrap for them. They need the offseason. So yeah,
I think their coach is probably gone too. So
I was gonna say they need a new coach.
Yeah, he's going to.
56% said Texas A&M, 25% said pass, then 17%. So another game where pass beat Texas A&M or Arkansas.
You seem like a must-bust guy. I'm surprised you're not a must-bust guy.
I don't dislike them. I just think it's not a good fit. Arkansas is not a program that transfers are going to keep wanting to come in if they're losing. So
next game, we got to bring up Toast first. It's the Connecticut Huskies. Toast basically said they sucked in the last stream.
Yeah, pretty much. Lucky to have a top 10 ranking.
In front of Kemba.
Toast, would you lay 3 on the road here with the Huskies?
I will be taking 3.5 with Creighton, and I will be taking the under 145.5. That will be my 2 bets. So, first of all, I'll just read my little spiel. I understand that my actions on the last show might make you think I hate UConn and stuff. It's not that. I just don't think they're the best team ever. That's just not how I feel. So why am I going to play the under? I just think this is a terrible spot for UConn. Huh?
Andy said the best team he's ever seen.
Okay.
So he didn't say ever. He's only 21.
Yes.
I'll give Andy that. Either way, I thought it was an asinine statement, and I still do to this day. I'm proud of Andy for sticking to his gun, though. I love seeing that. But anyway, like I said, I just think this is a good spot for Creighton where you get them at home against a team that just had a huge UConn that just had a huge game against Marquette. These teams played earlier in the year. Creighton absolutely got manhandled by this team. So why is this line 3.5? I don't know, but I do know that Connecticut didn't shoot very well from 3 that game. I don't think they're going to shoot very well from 3 this game. I think that Creighton can match up with them inside with Kalkbrenner. I just think that we are going to see an absolute rock fight tonight. I like the under way more, but I did take the 3.5 with Creighton last night because I saw it was moving down. So I like the under way more, but I did bet Creighton as well.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said, and I'm going to be on Creighton here too at +3. It's a nice little hangover spot for UConn off. That was probably the biggest win of the season, right, against number 4 Marquette. Yeah. I feel like everybody was watching that game. Like, my group texts were talking about it. The Discord was like, everyone was watching that game. So I feel like UConn stock is at an all-time high right now. We're talking about laying 3 points on the road against a good Creighton team who, honestly, if you line up the numbers next to each other, UConn and Creighton, the gap between these teams, now obviously UConn a much better team, but it's not as insane as you think. We're talking about 3 points at home here, which means 6.5, 7 on a neutral court. That's too much. This is I think the line is here for a reason. A lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, UConn -3, definitely." When I actually think this line is about right.
Yeah.
It's a nice little spot to fade. I was on UConn against Marquette. And I think this would be the spot to fade them and take Creighton +3. I also like the under, too. I like what Toast said about that. That's the way I was leaning as well. So pretty much in agreement with everything Toast said here.
And it's not like I've been fading UConn and talking shit about them all year, by the way. But I will point out, like I said at the beginning of the show, their best road win this year is Villanova. So let's just pump the brakes on them on the road. So, go ahead.
Andy.
Yeah, I'm on Connecticut. I don't know if that's a surprise.
Best team ever.
I will probably blindly bet them every game. I think this is a good – it's actually a good spot for Creighton. I will say that because UConn has back-to-back home games coming up. One of them is a revenge game against Seton Hall. So I do think if you're going to go against UConn, it would probably be tonight. I just think they're better than Creighton. Creighton's had some trouble in some of their big games this year. They did have a bounce back against Butler, but this is a big step up in class. So I think UConn should win this game. I think 5 or 6 would probably be the number I like here. 5 or 6 points they're going to win this by. That's UConn's going to probably be my bet every single game they play. So
told me with the big feet said, "Babe, shut up, Andy's speaking."
Somebody said that I was a baby for 2018 Nova. If you put that team up against this UConn team, 20-point win for UConn.
Wow.
Okay, Andy.
That's not right.
Yo, Andy's obsessed with this.
That's the New
UConn
York
team.
Knicks, by the way, right now. So
Yeah, basically that is the New York
With
Knicks.
Pascal thrown in at center, I believe.
Scoop, do you agree with me and Toast, or do you agree with young Andrew?
yeah, I'm gonna put Andy on the island here. I have to agree, and I hate to do it, but I think Creighton is the side here. Creighton's gonna want to come back from that 14-point loss, and since that loss, Creighton won 6 of the last 8, and their offense is hitting 80 points in like all of those games. So, couple of that with a letdown spot after a top 4 win against Marquette. I mean, fading UConn's not something that's an easy thing to do, so I can see why people would pick that. They won 14 in a row. Obviously, everyone knows what they look like. They're a shitty team, according to Toast, but I get it. I mean, Creighton's 11-2 at home. They're going to hang tough in this one all game. Their offense is one of the best, 7th in the nation, 3-point shooting. They're top 20 from the free throw line, which also Toast loves, and they're 19th in field goal percentage. So, plus Kalbrenner, Trey Anderson are both awesome secondary scoring options for Shireman. This is a Creighton spot here. I think Creighton wins the game personally.
Yeah, I
Not to mention, really quickly too, these teams have played 3 times in the last year, 13 months. The home teams won every time. UConn 69-60, then Creighton won at home 56-53. UConn won again 62-48. The highest total is 129. The play is the under.
So wait. Did you just say the last 13 times these two teams met, the home team's 13?
No, 13 months.
13 months. Okay.
3 times in the last 13 months.
And the home team's 3-0?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So our poll heavily leaning towards UConn. 58%, 32%. So community's definitely leaning towards UConn. So we'll see. I'm on Creighton. Next
Should be
up,
an awesome game.
Toast's
Hopefully.
favorite team. He loves this Baylor team. I don't know why.
How could you not?
The question is, now I think we all agree, even Toast, who's obsessed with Baylor, would agree that this is a very nice betting spot for BYU. I think
100%.
But have they overplayed their hand here with this line?
I don't think they've overplayed their hand. I don't think that BYU gets enough credit for what they've been able to do at home. Metrically, they're darlings. They're coming off a loss against Oklahoma State where they didn't even really show up. Besides that, their only loss, or 2 losses in conference, was a game against Cincinnati that they really, again, didn't show up in, and then a game against Houston at home, which is, it's really hard to fault them against Houston. For me, it's just, I don't know if you're going to give me, I got to see if Baylor's going to have their full complement of players lately, because if Langston Love comes back, who's a 6'5" sophomore that can shoot the 3-ball, I'm going to take Baylor +4 all day long. But we haven't got that word yet. Baylor's been playing really well since essentially the end of January when they lost that 3 overtime game to TCU. They've only lost 1 game, and that was the road game against Kansas where they got punched in the mouth. They were down by 1 million. They came back to only lose by 3. That's pretty impressive in Fog Allen. So it's just really hard for me not to take Baylor here. The issue with me is Langston Love questionable, and who does Baylor have on deck? Houston. So again, not a horrible spot for Baylor, but like I said, if Langston Love plays, I will be on Baylor.
All right, let's bring up Scoop. I'm very curious to see where you guys are going to land on this one, because I know which way I'm leaning, but I want to hear everyone else first. Scoop?
Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite bets. I'm heavy on BYU here.
Okay.
I know Baylor's 4-0 against them all time, but Baylor's just not a good road team. They're 3 road wins are West Virginia, Oklahoma State, and UCF. I know everyone knows by now Baylor is one of the best offenses in the game, but their defense isn't good by any means. Plus, BYU played probably their worst game of the season against OK State, where they lost by 10. Their defense really let them down. They averaged 68 points per game on defense, and they gave up 93 to Oklahoma State. So that's rough. But only one team scored over 75 against BYU at home. They give up 9 points less there. It's one of the best home courts in basketball. Plus, BYU contested 3 really well according to shot quality, which Baylor obviously likes to do. Yeah, I just like the revenge game and the Mormons to step up here and win. So,
Hey, Scoop, really quickly, who's got a better defense, Baylor or BYU?
At BYU?
Yeah, I was going to say at BYU. Sure. I mean, I would say BYU.
BYU? Okay, just curious.
He's just curious.
And they're both like middle of the pack. I mean, they're not great defenses either of them, but
Andy, can you settle? Can you settle this domestic dispute?
I don't know if I can do that, but I'm gonna side with Toast here. I I just think it's too many points for on Baylor. I know it's a tough place to play. Don't get me wrong. BYU is probably one of the toughest places in the country to play. But I just think Baylor's really talented. Like he said, they're playing well now since that loss to TCU. So I think they're playing well enough to get this one close. I don't know if they win, but 2 or 3 points maybe. BYU, I know everybody's saying it's going to be a bounce back spot coming off. It was an embarrassing game against Oklahoma State, but like they don't always bounce back. That could be because they didn't shoot that well in their last game too. They hit the same amount of 3-pointers in their last game as they did in the game against Oklahoma State. So like they're not shooting particularly well right now. So I'll take my chances with Baylor here.
Okay.
And that UCF game had like 77 possessions too, so they were like just shooting all over the place. It's been a joke.
I want to bring this graphic up here. So it's a good spot before I even get to this graphic, actually. So it's a good spot for BYU in a sense that you got them coming off an embarrassing loss to Oklahoma State, a loss that, let's face it, they were probably got caught looking ahead to this game against Baylor. And you got Baylor coming off a win, or actually I think 2 straight wins, right, for Baylor? I believe it's 2 straight wins.
Baylor,
2 straight blowout wins against bad teams, right?
Yeah.
So you got Baylor coming
Yes.
off 2 cupcake wins, and you got BYU coming off an embarrassing loss. It's at home in BYU where, as Scoop said, Baylor's defense has been bad. So I love the spot for BYU. And then you add this on. Look at this. This is in the last 10 games. Right here, above the break frequency. Look at BYU. 39.4% of BYU shot attempts are above the break threes. That's more than the Celtics. They are launching threes, and look at Baylor's defensive efficiency numbers against that shot in the last 10. 321st. So everything just points to BYU here. The problem is at 4.5. Jesus Christ, man. You're going to ask me to lay 4.5, and I don't think I can. I wish I bet it at 3. I think the way to handle this right now is to just go right here. Let me get it up on the screen. Just go right here. Why overcomplicate it? Just take the over at 155. I think we all can agree that BYU is going to score points against a Baylor defense that isn't very good and is even worse on the road. But you know what? What Toast said about Baylor's offense against BYU's defense is also true. So I just like the over, and I'm going to bet this one. Rather than try to play around with this weird 4.5 line. I wish I could get BYU at like -1, honestly, but that's not reality.
What was your guys' favorite Baylor away win? Was it West Virginia or Oklahoma State?
UCF isn't a.
Well, I was just
UCF is
about
not
to
an
say
easy
that
place
you
to
can-
play.
Wait.
That's another. You can add another point to BYU because they played in West Virginia 3 days ago, and they had to fly back. So I mean, yeah, everything points to BYU, Scoop. Everything does. There's no question about that. You're sharp.
We get it. You're sharp, Scoop. You're sharp. That was so condescending.
It wasn't meant to be, though. It wasn't like that.
We get it, Scoop. You're sharp. Yeah, everything points to BYU.
I'm texting them all night. I'm gonna be like living good, texting them every fucking possession.
51%, 30. Wow, community's on BYU. So community's on BYU here, 51 to 39%. So BYU's definitely a lot of action coming in on the Cougs here. We get it, Scoop. You're sharp. That was funny as fuck.
I didn't even mean it to come off.
Inter Milan,
We get it.
baby.
So I kind of sprung this game on you guys. Did you want to? I know Scoop.
We didn't
Toast
bring it. We've
likes
been talking about it.
Toast likes the Mountain West, so I threw it in
This
there.
is my favorite bet, actually. So.
You just said
Yeah,
you
Scoop,
just
bring him up.
you just
You
said
did
BYU.
just say BYU.
I actually, if you rewind the tape, I said one of my favorites.
No,
so
I think you
I
said.
listen once
I
in a
think
while.
you said my favorite, bro.
Someone rewind it for us, please.
Yeah. Actually, they can. Anyone in the community watching can.
All right. Anyway, let's talk Mountain West, and we'll bring Scoop up first because he seems eager to give a bet out on this one.
Eager.
Very
I love
eager.
Mountain
All right, Scoop. Your favorite bet of the day, number 2, is
West.
what?
I didn't fucking say that. God damn it. Utah State has been struggling lately. They lost to Colorado State, Nevada, the same San Diego State team by 14. They also look shaky in that Wyoming game. I know Utah State should look better. And they probably will in the next 3 of the 4 last games since they have Fresno State, San Jose State, Air Force, who's the bottom 3 of the conference. But San Diego matches well against them. Osabor and Lede should have an awesome matchup. Toast would know. He probably knows all about it. But Lede should be able to shut him down. He's not only is he probably the best player in this game, he's the best player in the conference. So they're not going to be able to feed Osabor like they usually do, which is most of Utah State's offense. So because Lede is not only great in offense, great in defense. The whole team has a phenomenal defense. They're 7th in efficiency. Butler, Waters, Parrish can all contribute for that team. I love San Diego State here, so yeah, give me those.
Some good analysis here. Said Scoop reminds me of Fozzie Bear from the Muppets. So yeah, that's the way I was leaning. So I'm glad you went San Diego State. I was leaning towards San Diego State myself. I don't know a ton about these programs. But it looks like Utah State going to be the heavy public sideline, still drops them 2.5 to 2. And then you add on the fact that Scoop's favorite bet, or one of his favorite bets, or whatever, he keeps moving the goalpost there.
I'll just say it's my favorite. Why not? Just go for it.
So now it's his favorite. So this is his favorite now until the next game, and then he'll give us his favorite.
What's next? Yeah, I can see it.
Toast, did you want to share anything on this one?
Yeah, I 100% agree with Scoop. I'm on San Diego State as well. I was hoping for the line to go up, but I will be on San Diego State regardless. A couple things, really good things for Utah State. Obviously, at home, they're going to be a better team. They have one of the best home court advantages in the country. But defensively against this San Diego State team, what they do defensively is they really prevent the three-point shot. San Diego State takes almost all of their 60% of their shots almost inside the arc, and that's not what Utah State defends very well. Their Utah State's offense is fantastic. There's no question about that. But the San Diego State defense is one of the best in the country. Scoop touched on it. They're not going to be able to drop it in to the big man. I think Lamont Butler has a big game shooting as well. Micah Parrish is going to be able to get in there as well. I mean, look, San Diego State has played the 7th hardest schedule in the country. They're the top 50 in experience. They're bigger than Utah State. So I understand the spot wise and stuff for Utah State, but I've been riding the San Diego State team for a couple of years now. I'm not going to stop now. They do have some away losses, absolutely, but I don't think that Nevada, Colorado State, and Boise State measure up to this Utah State team. I think all three of those teams are significantly better. Nevada's been playing a lot better than they were earlier in the year, so I think that loss doesn't even really look as bad. So, I'm on San Diego State as well.
3 of us on San Diego State. Someone said if Scoop's Fozzie Bear, Toast is Beaker.
I don't even know who that is. I got to look it up.
So someone in the comments asked that Nickel State was a good look. Whoever said that, thank you, because I did hit that. That was Andy. Are we sweeping San Diego State?
Yes. I don't have much on it. I've been watching the Mountain West the past couple weeks. I've been getting into it. I'm not fully into it yet, but I would take San Diego State too. Road dog, whatever you want to say about it. These guys are right on it.
All right, San Diego State sweep, but our community's pretty split on this one. Actually, it looks like the initial votes were coming in on Utah State, and everyone, us putting up San Diego State kind of swayed the votes to 47%, 40% in favor of San Diego State. Next. All right, Andy, sticking with you here. TCU at Texas Tech. This is a good one. Looks like the pie charts are showing Texas Tech is a pretty public favorite here. Line hasn't moved from what I can see. Still 5.5. Any reason to take a shot with TCU here?
Yeah, I actually think they're going to cover here. I think they're going to lose, but I think they're going to cover. A lot of points for Texas Tech. They are much better at home. I will give them that. Defensively, much better at home pretty much in every spot. I just think TCU, they got to play close. I think they're still on the bubble or close to it. They need it. Just play a close game and they'll be all right. So I think it'll be a normal Big 12 close game here.
Someone said, don't vote in the poll if you don't have a clue. Well, this show is not very clickbaity. So if someone's watching the show, chances are they're an experienced better. There's no locks or anything. So the people that watch this show, for the most part, are pretty experienced. And
we want to know what everybody is on too. Those votes it gives us a chance to understand what the line movement is and stuff, if it makes sense, if people in our show are unit too.
Right. Yep. Definitely. Let's bring up Scoop next. Do you agree with Andrew's pick of TCU plus 5.5?
I do not. I have to side with Texas Tech at home. You know who I love in this game. Pop Isaacs is going to do great. But Williams can help Isaacs too. I feel every stretch in the Big 12 is a rough one right now. I know Tech are 2-2 in their last 4, but they faced a tough Baylor and Iowa State team, both as an away team, and then they killed Kansas by 30. But now they're playing a TCU team that they lost to a few weeks ago, where both teams apparently couldn't miss. TCU is not going to shoot 55% from 3 this game. And I know Tech got killed on the offensive glass last game, and they were careless with the ball. But at home, they play a lot better on the boards, and they don't turn the ball over much. Dusan and Washington should be able to help out in his defense and spread the floor. And TCU hasn't been a great road team at all, so I like Texas Tech here.
Yeah, that's what I really want to take TCU, but that's what worries me is I know TCU is a lot more reliable at home. Let's see what Toast thinks first. Toast?
Yeah, I did Texas Tech in a parlay. I think they're safe to win. I don't know if I want to lay 5.5 with them. TCU's been really good, and TCU has also really dominated this schedule, this matchup. I think they've won like 5 or 6 straight games against Texas Tech. It might be like only 4 or 5, but either way, it's been a lot.
What's the parlay?
Texas Tech and Wisconsin moneyline parlay at -113.
Wisconsin's losing, bro.
No, they're not.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess don't put it on the screen, Brad.
No, that's your pick. You want to put a losing pick up, that's on you.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, if you're on Maryland, I'll make it 2 units. Then that's cool.
Maryland, I think Maryland's winning outright, bro. We'll get to that next.
On the road, out of your mind.
You'll
anyway,
see.
Texas Tech lost 1 game in conference at home all year, which was Cincinnati, and it was a really weird game. Like Scoop said, last time these two teams played, both of these teams shot the 3 ball like insane. So I just trust Texas Tech at home. They've been lights out at home this year, so I trust them to win. I don't mind getting TCU at the points, but I do think Texas Tech wins no matter what.
Yeah, I think I would have to. I probably – this is a game that I didn't bet, but I think this is the way I would go. If I end up placing a bet later in the Discord on this one, it'll be here. But I do like what Andy said. And I really – when I looked at it, I wanted to get to TCU. I don't think there's enough there to warrant me taking – like maybe if it was like 8, like I could get there, but 5.5 – might be a little too short for me. So I'd go Texas Tech or pass. This is a cool game that we're going to have on here. So I'll probably will bet something on it. But as far as I don't really have a strong feeling on it. So we got someone said Sports Center got arrested by the FanDuel police. 53%, 35% in favor of Texas. Next game. Sports Center got arrested. All right, next up. We got Pitt at Wake Forest. Well, all right. We got someone saying Pitt money line in the comments right when it popped up. So someone is on this. Before the graphics even fully came onto the screen, this man was like, Pitt money line. We're kind of a Wake Forest program. Well, when I say we, Andy is. Andy's big on this Wake Forest team. They let us down. Wait, no. Maryland. They covered. Maryland let us down. I took 2 teams at +2.5, and I mixed them up. Toast, would you lay 6 here with Wake?
I didn't lay it with Wake, but if I had to pick a side, it would be them. I paired Wake and Nova together in a moneyline parlay at -110. But here's the thing. Wake needs this game really, really bad. If they want to have any way of getting into the tournament, I don't think they're going to get in. But if they want to have any shot, they're definitely going to have to win this game. On top of that, I'm not really a big fan of Pittsburgh on the road. I understand that Pittsburgh's been a cover machine lately, so that's why I really wasn't in love with playing minus whatever the number is now. But I also think that there's a little bit of regression coming for Pitt. I mean, if you look at one of their best players, Blake Hinson, he's been lights out the last 2 games from 3-point land, 5 for 13, 9 for 13 the game after that. So I think that he's due for a little bit of regression. And 4 games ago, he was 6 for 10. So either he's shooting at 50 to 60% this year, or he's going to get down. I just don't think that we see that here. I think Silas can lock him up. Wake Forest hasn't been fantastic over the last couple games, but Virginia really hard defensively. I think they should have won that game. The Duke game, they kind of let that one get away from them as well. I think they were really in that Duke game, and that game was on the road. This Pittsburgh game's at home, so yeah, I lean Wake's way.
Okay, so Toast with a Wake Villanova moneyline parlay. Let's bring up Andy, huge Wake Forest fan.
Yeah, I think you've called me a Wake apologist.
You are one.
Yeah, you can put them up for me again. I think they're going to win this game. I will say this. It is kind of a look-ahead spot because they have to play Duke again on Saturday. But I think at this point in the season for them, they know they need every game. So I think they're focused on every game anyway. Yes. So I think they will win this one comfortably. Like you said, Pitt's been playing well, unsustainable. Wake might have had one of the toughest weeks you could have at least it's definitely the toughest in the ACC. They had to go to Duke, and then they had to play Virginia, who's probably the toughest team to play right now defensively, unless you're Virginia Tech, obviously. Yeah, but Wake had a tough week last week. This is a better spot for them, and they need every game, so I don't really think the look ahead's that big of a concern for me.
It looks like everyone just got hit with a bad.
I looked at that too, Andy, and the reason that I wasn't super worried about Wake is that Wake and Pitt are tied in the ACC, both at 8 and 6. So if either one of these teams is looking ahead, that's on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love I love some of these comments, man. People are like, I studied library science at Pitt. It was exciting. Pitt by 10.
Library science is exciting.
So it looks like there was an ad running for a second there. Hopefully that's over. I don't know what the deal is with that. Let's bring up Scoop because I'm not 100% decided on this one yet. I'm leaning Wake, but Scoop, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Pitt's playing its way into the tournament for sure. They had solid wins over Duke, Virginia, and obviously the same Wake team. That being said, I'm still really like Wake Forest here. It's probably my favorite bet of the day. Wake just has more talent, man. I mean, they're better on offense than on defense. Hildreth and Sal can slow down Hinson. Plus, Andrew Carr can take advantage down low because Pitt doesn't have a great big man. Wake's undefeated in Big 12 play. And there are 2 roads, Toe said. I mean, they're as tough as they come against Duke and Virginia. Virginia at home, mind you, not that disgrace against Virginia Tech.
Oh my God!
Yesterday. I mean, you'd have to think Steve Forbes will get his defense out in the perimeter too, because that's where Pitt's winning their games from. It's from the 3-point line. And after playing Virginia, Wake's going to love the defense for Pitt. It's going to be a lot open than what they felt. This feels like a trap line. I feel like books want you to play Pitt, but I know Pitt won 5 straight, sure, but only one was a ranked opponent, and it was at home. So no, I like Wake Forest a lot here.
Yeah, I agreed.
But the guy saying the library thing is the second.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, Wake here. Pitt's got to come crashing down eventually. And like Scoop said, the best win was at home. They haven't really shown us they could go on the road and beat Wake Forest. Or have they? I don't know what's confusing me is how many people in the comments like Pitt.
Because they're 7-3 their last 10 ATS. They're 6-2 on the road ATS. They're at an all-time high. Why are we getting so many points with them? It should be free. It should be free. But you're saying it's not. It's not.
So the poll is leaning towards Pitt. 44%, 40% in favor of the Panthers. Next game is Maryland, Wisconsin. Let's bring up Toast. He likes Wisconsin money line in his super sharp parlay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, why don't you tell me why I'm on the wrong side? Sharp guy, it's your channel.
1 second, let me get the poll up. Well, I mean, how much of an explanation do you need? Wisconsin's 1-9 against the spread in their last 10.
At least 2 paragraphs.
I mean, that's honestly, that should be enough. Wisconsin is 1-9 against the spread in their last 10. They look terrible. Not to mention, Maryland, yeah, we all know that offense is bad, and we all know they've been bad on the road. Go look at Wisconsin's defensive numbers in the last 10 games. What? I don't even know if Wisconsin's defense has the edge on that side of the ball. They probably do. They do. But if you just isolate the last 10 games and line up Maryland's defensive numbers against Wisconsin's offense, it's closer than you think. Maryland attacks the rim a lot. They're not very good at it, but Wisconsin, not the best numbers, protecting the basket. And then on the other side, look, it's Maryland's defense. Defense travels, and Wisconsin's sliding right now. They can't cover a number to save their lives. I actually got this at Maryland plus 7.5 last night. Comfortable with my ticket. Toast?
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with anything about Wisconsin ATS. That's why I wanted to find somebody like Villanova who I didn't think there was lose. But I do think that Wisconsin is due for some good things to happen. I mean, they have looked bad the last few games, but at the same time, a lot of those games have been on the road. They lost their home game to Purdue. Every other game that they lost was all on the road. So and since February 1st. So there's a lot of losses, but a lot of them are on the road. And the one loss at home was against Purdue. You don't expect them to win that game. So if Maryland can come in here on the road out of nowhere and beat this Wisconsin team that's kind of almost played their way out of the tournament, essentially, I know they're not all the way out probably, but if Wisconsin doesn't win this game, they're in an absolute free fall. So I'll take my chances with the Big Ten home team.
Yeah, it's not just winning though. Yeah, they won a couple home games. They didn't cover the number.
I'm not playing them against the number though.
Yeah, because you're a razor sharp.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play him against the number here.
You're playing Wisconsin?
Love Wisconsin here. I mean, I know it's hard to pick Wisconsin right now, but
is this your favorite bet of the day?
This is not one of my favorites, though. You'd have to think their offense will, going to pick it back up. I think the whole team forgot how to play offensively, but if there's a game they need to find it's here because Maryland's defense is what keeps them in all their games. In their last 6, their only win was against Ohio State, who fired their coach. So looking good for Wisconsin. Maryland just doesn't have the depth right now. Young and Reese are playing almost full games. They're probably tired, even though Wisconsin only had one game in their last 6. Like Toast said, their only home loss was against Purdue, which isn't bad by any means. Plus, Maryland's 346 in the country shooting the 3, which is the only things they can try here because Wall and Crawl should have the edge inside. I like Wisconsin to finally have a good game here. They're just a better team than Maryland, even though it doesn't show whatsoever. So,
Scoop just said was one of his reasonings for his bet. They're probably tired.
They're probably tired. They're playing 40-minute games. They have no depth.
I don't know. They're probably tired.
They have nothing on our bench. They're a shit offensive team.
He's dead serious.
They're 315 in the country in bench minutes. They play literally nobody. He's 100% right.
They're probably tired.
I can't tell if they're tired. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they're not. I don't fucking know.
Thanks for the expert analysis there. They might be tired. They might be tired. Andy?
I hate to agree with Scoop here, but
come on, dude.
I know.
It's because they're tired.
I know. I would agree with you about Maryland in this spot because Wisconsin's been so bad.
Would you agree that they're probably tired?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I think every team's probably tired. They've played a lot of games since November. I would say they're probably all tired. But I just think Wisconsin, you're at the point, and I think Toast brought it up. When you talk about needing a game, there's no team in the country that needs their game this week more than Wisconsin. Wisconsin's going to the point where they were a 1 seed a few weeks ago. Now they're looking like an 8 or a 9. Like they need it badly. I think they match up well. I think they are due for a good performance, especially at home. He talked about it. They've been away a lot of road games, which is usually what you see in college. A lot of road games stacked up next to each other. So I think they're in a spot where they'll regroup here and play well. But I edited the video last night. I get what you're saying, and I agree with a lot of what you said. I just think Wisconsin needs this so bad.
Yeah, and honestly, if we're all jokes aside, I didn't really consider that Maryland is probably tired. So.
It's tough. Tough to remember that.
When their starters play pretty much 40-minute games, they're probably tired.
They're probably tired. Yeah.
And they're going to Wisconsin.
Probably. Yeah. They're probably tired. Poll sides with Maryland. So the community agrees with me. The community does not agree that they're probably tired. 53% to 31%.
They'll see it tonight after they're tired.
They're probably tired. Right, guys? San Francisco at St. Mary's College.
I can't believe we're doing a game like this.
I think Scoop likes San Francisco here. I believe he said it in the Discord last night. Right? Didn't you?
I was leaning the Don's way, but I mean, I just couldn't get there. I think the problem is St. Mary's just looks unstoppable right now. They have 13 in a row. It doesn't feel like they're slowing down. 8-2 against the spread. They're past 10. They're 8th in defensive efficiency, which is obviously the best in their conference. I know San Fran has a great defense themselves, but I just think they can't stop St. Mary's right now. Plus, San Fran's 1-5 against the spread. Their last 6 overall. 1-8 against the spread against their last 9 against St. Mary's. As much as Toast doesn't want to hear it, I think St. Mary's has a chance to have a San Diego State kind of run in the tournament. Gales are going to win a rebounding battle, get second chances. I don't see them losing another big game until the big final game against Gonzaga. So, yeah, give me St. Mary's here.
Would you agree with that?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know. You never know. Look, first and foremost, I probably would have been on San Francisco. I was trying to get there, but this line doesn't really make any sense to me. Joshua Jefferson's going to be out for an extended period of time for St. Mary's, and that's kind of big for them. He's like their most athletic player on that team. That's a big loss for that team. But San Francisco has played really, really good basketball. Like, I don't want to try to take anything away from what they've done this year, but at the same time, they've really played nobody. I mean, strength of schedule at 259 in the country. They've stacked up a whole bunch of wins, but anytime they've stepped up in class, they've had trouble. I mean, even they only lost to Gonzaga by 5, but I mean, Gonzaga's in a down year. I mean, and if San Francisco was real, they could have beat Gonzaga that day. So the times that San Francisco has lost, it's against good teams: Boise State, Arizona State, Grand Canyon, Utah State, St. Mary's, Gonzaga. All 5 of those are tournament teams. But like I said, we're at St. Mary's. They're on the road here. Maybe if it was at home, it was a different deal. But St. Mary's beat this team by 17 on the road. Even without one of their better players, I still would lean St. Mary's here.
So you're leaning St. Mary's. So we got someone
I
saying
didn't bet it though.
St. Mary's is retiring number 32 in honor of famous women's poet Sylvia Plath tonight. Don't fade them. So there's that.
Interesting.
Andy goes, interesting.
Interesting.
He writes it down. Okay.
Would you lead St. Mary's, Andy?
Gotta write that down.
Take
No,
San-
I actually think San Francisco.
There you go. I was waiting for somebody.
Got a shot to win this game. I do agree with Toast. They haven't played anybody. Their best win this year was a semi-home game against Minnesota that was in early December, and then they went on the road in Vanderbilt. But those games were forever ago. When you talk about getting in the rhythm in conference play, they've done a good job. If you want to say they haven't played anybody, you have to say the same thing pretty much about St. Mary's, because they play in the same conference. The whole conference is pretty awful. So I'm not going to get too worried about who they've played. They're statistically still a top 100 team in the country on both sides of the ball. So they're a really good team, and I think it's a good spot for them to play a close game. I think they might even win it. It's a late night weird game, so I'll take my shot with the Dons there.
Damn right.
St. Mary's is better than UConn. St. Mary's is better
Dons
than
up.
UConn.
It's late night for me. All right.
I'm on the Dons. St. Mary's is probably tired.
No, they're not. They got a good bench. They got a
St. Mary's is probably I don't know. Probably tired.
San Francisco has the better bench. Scoop.
Listen, I just got off the phone with Jameer Young. He said he's fucking tired, and Julian Reese is tired. They're averaging 30+ minutes a game. They're tired. All right.
Probably tired.
I
don't
will
know.
say Julian Reese has played like every minute of the last 5 games. It's ridiculous.
A 66%, 17% community leaning heavily towards St. Mary's. Next, some action. We got Kent State on the road at Ohio. This was a Twitter request. So what I've been doing is posting the lineup of games we're going to go to, and I say if you want additional games, just leave a comment, and someone commented this one. So this is by request. Kent State at Ohio. Toast, did you get a chance to take a look at this one?
Absolutely. I was leaning Ohio. I didn't bet it yet, but my uncle's on it. He also bets basketball. I just think this is a really good spot for Ohio. I know that they've lost 2 games in a row, but if you haven't known, if you've been following me, you know Arkansas State is a dog. I mean, this team is playing fantastic, so I don't really write them off for that. And then a loss to Toledo. Again, Toledo's like 40 spots better than them in Ken Palm. That game was on the road. They lost by 2. And now they come home to play a Kent State team that I don't really think – I mean, they match up very well against them. Kent State hasn't been fantastic on the road this year. I mean, losing to Troy. I mean, they beat Buffalo, but Northern Illinois, Bowling Green, it took them to beat in overtime. All those teams are like 250 or more in Ken Palm. Ohio's 164. I think that Ohio has a very good shot to win this game by multiple possessions. So, yeah, I'd lay 3.5 of Ohio. I think Jalen Hunter and that Sharif Mitchell kid really go off tonight. And I really don't know who guards that A.J. Clayton kid. He's been really playing pretty good for them as well. So, yeah, I really like Ohio here.
Someone said, Kyle, what about Buffalo and Ball State games? Man, no one commented that.
I actually have a play in the Buffalo game.
All right, well, we'll get through this one. But let everyone know, if you want for us to go through a game, when I tweet the lineup, just comment what game you want, and we'll add the graphics. All right, Andy, I know that I just sprung this game on you. Did you have a chance to take a look at this or no?
Yeah, I don't love the game. They're pretty much equals on the court. I'll side with Toaster. I trust him here with Ohio. I don't love the game.
Someone said start a GoFundMe new mic for Toast. I got him a new mic, man.
I'm on vacation. Leave me alone.
Yeah, so that's the way I would go too. Is Ohio. So when Toast said he was leaning that way, that was I didn't bet it. And this game's at 7, so probably won't bet it. The ones that you'll find me betting are the late games when it's like there's not much on. So I'm going to bet that San Francisco one because it's on at 11 o'clock and there's just not many options as far as things to gamble on at that hour. Toast, do you agree with Ohio?
Scoop.
Me? Scoop.
Scoop, not Toast. My bad.
Yeah, I like Ohio's here. I know that both of them are pretty good offensively. Ohio's a little bit better. They're back at home. They're 9-3. Ohio's 9-3 at home, 7-4 against the spread. They controlled the turnover battle last time they played, and they're out rebounding Kent State. This should be a fun game to watch. To be honest, the only thing I'm worried about Ohio is last 2 games they're the both losses they gave them 185 points, but I think Ohio still has a better. I don't think they're better than Kent State. Even with their losses, they both have positives. They scored 80 points in 3 straight games. Plus, they average 79, shoot over almost 50%. So, give me Ohio here. I like them to cover, especially at home.
Someone said, Kyle, is there an NBA show tonight? Which games would you like us to go over?
What do you want to talk about?
It's the All-Star break, man. We got 2 more days. We could just talk. Yeah, let's just talk ball. No, well, NBA show will be back on Thursday and it's loaded too. There's like 12 NBA games on Thursday night, so we'll be back on Thursday with NBA. Yeah, that's all I have. But I mean, if you guys want, I know it's after 5 o'clock. If you guys need to go, but I'm down to do a community parlay if you want to hang out for a couple more minutes. Whoops.
I know me and Toast are on Akron pretty hard too. So
Akron.
Yep.
Yeah.
You both like Akron?
Yeah,
we do.
Hold on, let me go pull that game up. What's the line there?
I'm going to go see where John F. Kennedy got shot after this. I'm very excited.
Sweet.
Oh, I did that same tour when I was in Dallas a few years back. It's cool. Yo, it's weird how close the grassy knoll is. It's like right there. Yeah. I figured it was like a long shot. Like, no, it's right there. Anyway.
My son really liked Pier 3 Wyatt, so we're gonna go do that. He's really excited.
It's cool, yeah. And then they show you the hotel where like the second gunman was allegedly or something.
Oh, really? Oh, sweet.
Or that's where John Wilkes Booth was. Whatever. We don't need to talk about that. But it's cool. It's a cool tour. Anyway, so Akron's +2. Akron's +2 on the road in Toledo. You like it?
Yes, very much so.
There's a 2.5 open on MGM. I'm gonna take that. Ooh, 2.5 on FanDuel.
Yeah, that's what I put. That's what I put on VIP on the BetMGM bet. So even on the road, I made this game Akron -2. I told myself if I was going to get 2.5 or more, I would take it. It was sitting at 2 for a while, and BetMGM popped it up. But both these teams are fighting for a MAC regular season title, and I just think that Akron's the better team. They played earlier this year. Toledo won by 7 on their home floor, but I mean, Akron's one of the best defensive teams in the conference, and that's what matters to me. Toledo doesn't play great defense, and they let their offense do the work. Akron's bigger. They have a deeper bench. They're more experienced. I'm going to take the points with the better team that I think. So, yeah, I took the 2.5.
I'm in. Akron.
Yeah, I mean, Akron's defense is just like suffocating for their conference, and they're the 21st best in the country, holding opponents to 64 points a game. Plus, they can shoot 3 really well. I think they're top 20 in the country in that. So, yeah, definitely give me Akron here.
All right, cool. Akron. Someone said Fade Toast Uncle in the chat before. Andy, you said you had one more to give out before you start?
Yeah, in the Eastern Michigan Buffalo game, I think I saw Toast's eyes light up when I said it. A lot of people seem to be talking about that game on Twitter when I saw it, and it's because you have probably one of the worst teams on the road playing literally the worst home team in college basketball. Buffalo's 3. I think the number's 3 and 25.
I'm seeing 3s. I see a 3.5 too.
No. I'm talking about the record. They're 3 and 22. Their last home win was on November 15th. That was against a D2 team whose name I can't even say. I think it's Roberts Wesley. Yeah,
Roberts Northwestland.
Yeah. So they haven't literally not beaten anybody at home since that, and they're getting crushed in their home games. Now you got Eastern Michigan comes in, hasn't won a road game since early December.
Something's got to give here.
Something has to give, and I think Buffalo is so bad that I think I'm taking the road dog there.
You're taking Eastern
just
Michigan.
Like I did yesterday with Nichols.
So there's a 3.5 on FanDuel. I'm going to take you.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
I'm taking Eastern Michigan there. Buffalo's not just losing home games. They're close game. They did lose by 9 to Akron there. But other than that, they're losing their home games by 30, 20. They have been an awful team. Yeah. So right. I side the road dog there.
I'm in. I'm tailing Andy because you hooked me up with Nichols last night. It erased my Virginia loss, so it was appreciated. All right, let's do the community parlay. All right, so let's get it started here. We'll use the games that we went through because that makes it just easier to organize. And we went through 15, so we have a lot of options. Oh, yeah. By the way, special shout out to William Byron, by the way.
Hell yeah.
How are we not going to shout out William Byron? If for those of you who didn't watch my Daytona 500 video, William Byron won the Daytona 500 and I gave him out. Scoop also posted William Byron on the website as well. We both had Byron.
We actually, me and Kyle actually had 5 of the top 10 drivers in our tickets.
We crushed that. And now, you know what's going to happen? Now everybody is
we're going
excited. Everyone's so, like, I got so many DMs, like, can't wait for the race next week, bro. Can't wait to watch your video.
It's just hard because super speedways are up in the air, man. There's, like, no dominating player. Like,
Don't wreck, right?
Yeah, don't wreck on those. That's it.
Who won?
Is it Atlanta this week?
Does anyone know who won the Boston College Florida State poll? I think Florida State did, right? Because I'm pretty sure I was on, like, a Boston College island or something.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Florida State.
I'm not positive.
It's not going to win anyway. All right, so community parlay. Yeah. Cast your votes. Cast your votes.
I also don't know why VCU is an underdog today, by the way. I think they win outright.
So who blew this one? This is our last community parlay. Who blew this?
That was
The Kentucky. No, Kentucky beat Auburn. No, this one the one. This one hit.
Yeah.
This is the one that hit.
Scoop. I think Matt Cross is out tonight too. So I don't think we should be telling everybody. I think we got VCU in a bag here for free.
Wait, VCU? Why didn't we didn't even talk about that
You
game?
just mentioned it. I know. Scoop said it out loud. He made me talk about it.
VCU came through me. I bet them pretty heavy the other day when they were laying 5 on the road against St. Louis. I bet that pretty heavy. I bet that, and then I saw Toast had it too, and I doubled down on it. So that was a nice hit.
Never mind. Go.
Tennessee money line is going to be the first one. So we're starting off chalky.
Yeah, he didn't practice yesterday.
Kyle, are you doing videos all year for NASCAR? I know I'm doing a ticket all
I'm going
year
to do
on
as
the
many
website.
as I can. The only reason, like, there's no NBA this weekend, which gave me a lot of extra time. So we'll see.
I'll be doing NASCAR every week on the website.
Yeah, you'll be posting them on the website. So there'll be pics posted on the website every week. Whether or not I'm able to do a YouTube video, it'll depend on how much time I have. We'll see. So Arkansas, Texas A&M. Do we even want to put? Yeah, we'll put it in there.
Best believe if Kyle picks another winner, he'll have a video up the next week.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have to because of all the people that were like.
At least until you lose one.
Yeah. But the thing is, it didn't get many views. It only got like 5,000 views, which in comparison,
Well, now that they know that you're picking
college
winners,
basketball
they might
videos
be.
are doing close to 15,000 now. So I have to use my time with what maximizes the views.
I wrote some games for college, but I did the George Mason Dayton game in the
What, for
video
tonight?
Yeah.
I have 2 done too. I like Clemson as a road favorite, and the other one I did was I actually have it right here. Damn it, I closed it. But I did 2 games. I can't remember the second one.
I hope you did. Oh, come on.
What the hell, dude? Duct tape that camera. That's the second time in a row this has happened.
Mine gets hacked every time, so I don't really know what's happening.
Someone asked if we cover MLB. Yeah, our baseball show. I think our live baseball show gets more views than anyone else on. We get a ton of viewers in here. Our live baseball show is a ton of fun. We do it every day, 4 p.m. But Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, because there's day games, we go at 11 a.m. So, yeah, it looks like Michigan State money line is going to be the second leg, even though I like Iowa. But money line, I mean, I very seriously doubt Michigan State loses. So we are extremely chalky today. Next leg would be Baylor, BYU. BYU money line. BYU definitely won that poll. San Diego State won. TCU, Texas Tech. Texas Tech won that. And Pittsburgh, Wake Forest. Pitt won that poll. You guys voted for Pitt. All right, cast your votes. Let's see what the third leg is.
I hope you
Who's
did.
number 2 again?
Someone said fade Corbin, MLB. Oh, man, you're not going to like me on the show. Big Patrick Corbin guy.
Tennessee and
Was it
Michigan
Patrick
State.
Corbin or Corbin Carroll? Who's the second team again?
Michigan State.
Michigan State. It's Tennessee, Michigan State. Now, I like Patrick Corbin first 5s at home. Telling you.
I think one of my first days working with Kyle and AJ, he brought up like, hey, the Mets should trade for Patrick Corbin. I think that was when I was like, I work for an insane person.
They should. Well, right now, he'd be like the number 2 starter in the rotation. So,
No, they
BYU.
Yeah, the baseball show was fun. I was only on like 3 shows last year. But
It's
it was
usually-
really fun. Everyone has like so many different bets in baseball. It's like insane.
Yeah, it's usually me, Toast, and Prop Beaver are like the main. So we got Maryland, Wisconsin. They voted for Maryland.
It turns into an all-out war in that show.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
know.
Yeah, it's a lot of name calling. It's just a mess.
Yeah. It's not for the faint of heart.
A lot of times people ask after, like, "Yo, you guys mad at each other?"
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Like, man, Kyle really threw you under the bus with that Marquette tweet, huh?
You deserve that shit. You deserve every like, every person that clicked the like on that. You deserved it.
Every
I
UConn
said-
fan coming after you is deserved.
I told the guy, I was like, man, if I got upset every time Kyle said something like that, we wouldn't be working together.
Yeah, it wouldn't work out. Yeah, but that one guy was like the diehard UConn fan. He was triggered in the Twitter responses. My
was.
man was triggered.
I don't even know how you can get triggered as a UConn fan right now. Just enjoy your shit.
I know, right? Like, what are you talking about?
There's so many teams that are just, they wish they were in their position, and their fans are still like fighting people on Twitter. Like, dude, it's like Georgia football. Just enjoy it. Stop like fighting
If
people.
Gonzaga
Just
ever
enjoy
wins
it.
the national championship, if Gonzaga ever wins a national championship, I'll be sitting like this for the rest of my life. Suck
Yeah.
it.
Well, good news
Just
is there's no
no.
danger of that happening.
Dude, if Georgia just makes the tournament, I'll be sitting like that.
All right, so let's give it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and poll. And it's St. Mary's. So it's Tennessee, Michigan State, BYU, St. Mary's. Definitely a chalky one. Anyone's got a sports book open? I think Toast might.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
Plus
Or
266 is my guess.
173.
Oh my God.
173.
This is disgusting. So the
And
community.
that's like the highest one.
No, I think we
Yeah.
had a 177 once. So I think this is the chalkiest
Ugh.
community parlay ever. This is disgusting. Tennessee, Michigan State, BYU, St. Mary's, you chalky square
It's not even
motherfucker.
great with the BYU in there, but you know. That's fine.
Man.
So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll be back same time, and I think that it'll be the same for tomorrow at 4 p.m. Or Toast, are you on a flight?
Yeah, I travel tomorrow, so I can't do tomorrow. Rest of the week, I'm good.
So it'll be me, Andy, Scoop, and then I'll ask Oaks if he can join. If not, it'll be me, Andy, and Scoop. But tomorrow, 4 p.m. No, Prop Beaver's not in jail. He doesn't do college basketball. Everyone always asks, like, is he dead?
know.
Did you
Is he
fire
in jail?
him?
What?
No, he was just here. He
Everybody
actually
thinks he's
just-
in trouble.
No, he doesn't do college basketball.
It's
he
the
was actually just
mustache.
here.
He doesn't
so
do college sports. He doesn't.
No,
like
he
them,
doesn't do
period.
collegiate sports. No. But all right, everyone, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow, same time. I'm going to post some of my bets on the website because people have been asking. They're like, we see Toast posting on the website. Why don't you post your stuff? So I'm going to make a post and put 3 of my favorite bets on there too. So give me a few minutes on that. I'll put it up. Everyone, have a great night. Remember to bet responsibly. Give me like an hour, and I'll be on the Discord if you need me. Later.
That's it.